So as I was reading and reflecting before the session this morning, I was drawn to this part of the course and the early part of the text, right teaching and right learning. Chapter 4, section 1, Jesus says, "Change is always fearful to the separated, because they cannot conceive of it as a move towards healing the separation." So just to read that again, change is always fearful to the separated, because they cannot conceive of it as a move towards healing the separation. I think a lot of us have experienced that. We get a nudge, we get a call, we're asked to take a step, and almost always our first response is fear, even when we know it's something helpful or good or positive. And he explains why. He says they always perceive change as a move toward further separation, because the separation was their first experience of change. So it evokes that deep issue that we all have, this belief that somehow we've changed ourselves out of oneness, out of our place in heaven, which we know never really happened. But as long as that ego within us believes it, we're going to be terrified. And so each outer change brings that up, strikes that chord of fear within us. And so I think a lot of us here are working with that. We're taking the steps. The change keeps triggering more and more. There's more waves of this fear. But this is how we wash it clean. We move forward, follow the guidance the best that we can. And we just keep allowing the fear. We keep feeling the fear, sharing it with Holy Spirit. And over time, that intensity will diminish.
I think this clarity from Jesus is showing his psychological awareness. He knows how the psyche works. And I think if you don't, maybe you all feel like you see this in your own mind, in your own psyche, the fear of change. I think we all probably can recognize that quite easily. But if you want a strong example, you could even think about children, little children, when the mom or dad leave the room, or something simple, something every day seems to happen. Sometimes they get afraid, they cry, and somehow even that can stick inside of us, as that we will have some kind of neurotic anxiety around even simple changes. Even sometimes I notice in me when I have I'm on to something in my mind, I'm on to something that will really reveal something to me, a healing, if I'm in prayer or meditation, and then something happens. I receive a message, someone talks to me, and I feel like I lose the thread. And there is this kind of clinging. Then I want to go back to that track I was on and find it again. Instead of just leaning back into spirit and say, oh, I trust. This was just another reminder of separation. This was just another reminder of the fear of change. So, yeah, it was really good that you brought that up today. This fear of change. It's a fear of loss. It's a fear that we can lose the truth that we are reminded of in every change that happens in the world. So in that sense, every change is just a forgiveness opportunity. So just a lesson to face something again, to face fear again, to face separation, and invite our minds back into trust. Because we are like little children. We don't know our true identity most of the time here, or all the time. That's what time is. It's not knowing. So it's only when we practice the holy instant, when we practice inviting the present moment healing, that we open the door to the truth, to knowing who we are. And we need to practice that a lot. And practice to not even try to trust change. Like we cannot trust the world. We don't need to try, but we need to see the fear that it brings up. And instead we can start to practice to see everything as consciousness, as our mind. We observe all things, all changes, all people, all events as our mind. Then there is no more fight.